Did you know that nearly 15% of pending home sales fell through in the month of June in 2025? So that's really not much more than it was the period of 2017 to 2019. There was a recent article that came out detailing all of this and why it's happening and what the issues are. So let's back up. So 15% of pending home sales fell through in June. 2017 to 2019, it was about 12%. So we're kind of back to pre-COVID market, and I'm sure you probably heard that before. The number one reason for people backing out of the buyers backing out or deals falling through is because of inspection problems. The second biggest reason was buyers simply got cold feet. So after that are mortgage problems, financing issues. Appraisal issues were only 5%, but that's pretty huge that, yes, we know that people back out due to home inspections, but the next highest one was buyers just simply got cold feet. So, just make sure you're asking enough questions of your realtor to make sure you're comfortable moving forward with the purchase. Don't max yourself out on your mortgage payment. Everyone always says, man, my bank will approve me for way more than I want to pay per month. That's a pretty common theme among home buyers. So the second thing is, a lot of the real estate news that you read are national news stories. So I don't want you to always think that applies to your local market. One example is I keep seeing news stories that builders have so much inventory on their new construction subdivisions. Like where? Not in lower southeast Michigan. In our area, when a home's built, it's sold pretty quickly. So there's definitely a pent up demand for new construction where we are. Maybe that's not the same nationwide. So if you ever see any national news articles that you have questions on, just make sure you ask me, send me a DM. Hey, does this apply to Lenawee County, Washtenaw County, Monroe County, Jackson County? Does that apply to our area? And I can kind of give you some details for our local market. But what is this? What else does this mean that buyers are backing out? 2020 through 2022, about halfway through 2022, buyers were simply moving forward because they lost out on getting so many houses. They probably made between 5 and 10 offers they didn't get. When they finally get a house and something comes up on the home inspection, guess what? They just, we'll just take it as is. We don't have a choice, or else we go back to home shopping again when we've already lost 5 other houses, right? So the increasing real estate inventory is leading to more buyers understanding that they have more options now, right? So if they do a home inspection, they find some issues with the house that they're not comfortable with. They say, you know what? There's other houses out there. I'll just go back to home shopping. No big deal. So a couple of things a home seller could do, you can get a pre-listing home inspection and address all of the issues that come up on your pre-listing home inspection. It's going to cost you $350 or $400 usually in my area, where I am anyway. So that's one option. You can do a walkthrough with a realtor, and the realtor can point out things that they see that they think a buyer may have an issue with, like painting, any small plumbing leaks you might have. Does the roof nearing the end of its life? Are you missing some handrails? Any safety issues that might come up? Have you had your furnace checked lately? Get the furnace and central air checked and keep that paid invoice that the HVAC technician said that your furnace and AC are in good working order. That's always a good thing to have as well. So there's a lot of things both the seller could do and the buyer could do to make sure that the deal gets to the closing table. So if we all work together and do those things, then more deals won't fall through, and we'll actually sell more houses, and you'll get the house you want, and you'll sell your house for the price that you want. So if you have any questions, DM me. Be happy to answer anything for you. Talk to you soon.